Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to go over how to create a Zoom background using Doodly.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
Want a different virtual background from the generic ones that come with Zoom? Here's a really simple Doodly technique that you can create in a matter of minutes. First, we're going to need to decide what we want in the background and how complicated it should be. I recommend keeping it simple. Right now I've got a lot going on in this particular demonstration background, and I think we need to simplify it a bit. We also need to determine how long it should be, because your Zoom meetings, they can go on for hours, so you really don't want to make an hour-long Doodly video, I'm sure. So I think simplicity is key here. And one of the ways that we can simplify it is by turning the hand off. So let's do that first thing. So let's go to settings, and you go over to your hand style and just scroll down to no hand. That way you're not going to have this hand scrolling in the background. The items are just going to appear. Now this woman here, this is just a placeholder. This represents you, okay? So that just gives you an idea of where you're going to cover the screen and what you have to work with. So here's our free real estate over on the sides here. So when the time comes to export the video, you will go ahead and delete your placeholder, okay? But for now, we're going to keep it here so that we can build a scene. So let's recreate this using some of these concepts that I've discussed. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the scene. And we're going to start from scratch. So let's go ahead and get a placeholder. So I think that was Mercy. And I used this one. We could use a different one. Let's drag it in. So now, what is our concept? Let's make this a business meeting. In this example, we're going to be more business-like. So let's go ahead and get a logo in here. So go over to props, and I have this real estate agent logo, Jane Martin Acme Real Estate. We've been using in some of our previous videos. So we could put that off to the side here. And then maybe we should put a couple of just kind of fun real estate type items in the background. So let's type for real estate. And that looks nice. And I think really that's pretty much all we need. Want to keep it simple. Oh, maybe we should add a sunshine and some clouds. Who knows? Let's see. Now remember, the hand will not be drawing these things on. I'm going to go ahead and click the pencil icon. And I want to set this so it fades on. So that'll just come on and look real nice. And I would like it to be a slow fade because we want it to be, again, fairly subtle coming on. And then our little house. Again, this can be fairly slow. Let me say 5 seconds. And then our sun. Let's say 4 seconds. Then we want to think about the order. I think the sun should come first, then the house, and then the logo. You can put some delays in between them if you'd like. And then you're going to want a very long delay at the end of the scene. Because remember, you're going to be on the Zoom call for hours, right? So you want once you have your scene drawn, you want it to stay on for a long time. At the same time, you don't want to make an hour-long video and upload it to Zoom. You want maybe like a minute or 2 minutes max. So let's just say 60 seconds. And then Zoom will just repeat it over and over for 60 seconds. Every 60 seconds it'll redraw it. And that should be fine. So let's take a quick look, and we'll keep in mind that we're going to delete our little placeholder character before we export it. So here comes the sun, and people are like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then we've got a delay, and then we've got a little real estate symbol coming on. That's kind of fun because you're a realtor. And then we have another delay, and then eventually your logo appears. And then once it's all on there, it's just going to stay on there for 60 seconds, and then it will repeat. And I think for our Zoom meetings, that should be fine. That's plenty. So let's go ahead and delete our placeholder character. And we'll export the video and then bring it into Zoom, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and export it. Okay, so now I'm in Zoom and I have a virtual background. This is one of the stock ones that comes with it. This is the Golden Gate Bridge. Well, now I want the doodly one that I just made. So how do I do that? Well, if you go into your little video settings down here and you go to choose virtual background, you have this menu that comes up. So here's the one that I had chosen earlier. Well, now I want to add my doodly one. So I click this little plus button, add video. And this is the one right here that I just created. So that's the one I'd like to add. And here it is. So now I'm in Zoom. I'm being my professional real estate agent persona, and these little items are just drawing on all by themselves, and that's how it goes. And then my little logo is going to come on, and then this will stay on for 60 seconds before it wipes away and then redraws. And it's fine. And you know, it's not perfect. These virtual backgrounds, you know, unless you have a green screen behind you and good lighting, they're not perfect. You know, like you move your hand and, you know, things start to appear, but it's still kind of fun as a different way of having a virtual background that is just kind of fun. And that's the basics. That's how you do it. Thanks for watching. Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, I'm going to share a few tips to take your doodly animations to the next level.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
Doodly is super easy to use from the moment you download it, and it's a lot of fun. While you can quickly create whiteboard videos by dragging and dropping characters and props into place, taking the extra time to fine-tune your video will take your doodly animations to the next level. Today, I'm going to share a few simple techniques that will make a big difference in the overall look of your doodly videos. If you've been following the Doodly official channel, these may be familiar, but a quick refresher never hurts. And you'll notice I was showing a very stock scene here, created by Doodly, and it took forever to get to the point. It was 30 seconds of drawing walls and cabinets and pencils just to get to the point of saying my videos are boring. And that's what I want to talk about today. So I built this scene like many new beginners do, by choosing a pre-built scene, dragging it into place, and then I added my own thought bubble and text. And I'm sorry, it's a not very exciting video, and we want to change that. So maybe we do like this layout, and that's fine, but if our point of the video is what's in this text, we got to get to it a whole lot faster. So I'm going to take this scene and we're going to take it to the next level. So let's start. Let's get rid of all this drawing. We're going to turn all of these unimportant things into 0 duration items. And what that means is the hand is no longer going to draw them. They are just here. 4 seconds to draw a printer. Okay, that's just too much. Okay, now we're into the custom items. So I've got my cloud, my little thought bubble. 3 seconds to draw a thought bubble is too long in my opinion. So I like to go with 1 second. And then I think this is fine. So now instead of having a 30-second scene, we have a 3-second scene. And let's take a look at it. Now there's a caveat, of course. If you have a lot of narration going on and you want the scene to be moving as you talk, then okay, maybe you can let it draw on. But again, I would speed it up a bit. I wouldn't spend 4 seconds on a printer unless that printer is very important. Now, next we want to talk about getting the layout just right. It's fine to have a wide scene to establish your video. I think that's great. You want an establishing shot, but maybe your next scene doesn't need to be quite so wide. So let's go ahead and duplicate this scene. You right click it, duplicate it, and now you have an identical scene. Before we start working on the second scene, let's go back to the first one. Turn off the exit animation. That way it'll be seamless between the two scenes. There's not going to be a big swipe between them. And then we go to our second scene, and the things that have already drawn, this thought bubble, that can now be 0, and the text can now be 0 because we don't want to repeat those. We can control click on everything to select them all, or you can use Control A or Command A depending on your operating system to select everything. So everything is now grouped together. And what you can do is resize them, okay? So I'm going to make everything larger. You can change the view a little, and that just makes it easier to do this. Now we can move it over. And that looks nice. We got a closer scene here of our girl. So let's go back to our regular view and let's see how this is starting to look now. Oops, okay, so we missed something here. Oh, we had this duration didn't change. And while we're at it, let's make the little extra time at the end of the second scene. Let's just make it 2 seconds. Okay, so now let's take a look. My videos are boring. And what we've just done is created it's like a different camera angle. So we have our wide establishing shot, and now we have a close-up. And then now we can do some other things now that we're here with this close-up. So let's say now we want to change the text. So what you can do is have this erased and then bring in some new text. So I'm going to duplicate the scene one more time. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to change the scene settings to 0.5, which is our minimum. I want to make sure that in scene 2, let's go back to scene 2. I know this is a little confusing. I want to make sure the exit animation is off so that, again, there's no swipe between the two. Now I'm going to go back to scene 3. So this is our new one that we're working with. This is the one I want to change to ½ second. So now I'm going to go over here to the text. My videos are boring, and I'm going to click this gear icon, and exit animation, erase. And I'm going to make a 2-second erase. So now we have our wide establishing shot, our close-up, and then the hand's going to come in and erase this text. So let's see what it's looking like now. And that's looking pretty good. I think this scene here is a little too long. So I'm going to go to the middle scene, and we're going to go to scene settings. And we don't need this much extra time at the end. I think even half a second, just the minimum, is fine. Now let's take a look. And that's looking much better. So once again, we're going to duplicate this scene, okay? So now we have the same scene, but we're going to change the text. Because remember, this text got erased in scene 3. So let's go ahead and go to scene 3, scene settings, exit animation none. So click this gear icon. Okay, exit animation. I don't want it. So now let's take a look. My videos are boring. I think that's too long for the erase. Okay. So let's go back to this one. This is the one that has the erase. So let's go for a little bit slower. And then this just appeared. We need to add some time so the hand draws it on. So that's looking a little bit nicer, a little bit more exciting than what we had before. I would do a little bit more fine tuning, but I think you get the idea of how you can do this particular technique with the text and with the different camera angles. Now, closely related is to fill the screen. So I am filling the screen here with this particular scene by doing that little camera angle trick. But this applies just in general, okay? So let's go over here and let's add a character. So we have Emily. And you notice she comes in at a certain size. And this is true of all of the characters. They come in at a certain size. And I'll often see people doing this. They'll just accept the character size and the prop size as is and build their scene around it. It looks fine, but here's one thing I always say. Don't be afraid to make your characters really big. There may come a point where they start to look pixelated, but in general, you can get them really nice. Another tip is to use some of these shapes. And that looks a little bit more enticing than just using the small characters as they appeared. And finally, I wanted to mention the use of color. You know, this is a nice black and white whiteboard video, but you can use color. So let's change our text. Let's make it this pretty blue. And just even having one as blue looks really nice, but I think it'll look nice to have both of them blue. So I'm going to change this one to blue as well. And now we have a color scheme. So maybe we want to be consistent throughout the video and have our text be blue and then the characters be black. And that looks really nice and it draws attention. So play with colors a little bit. These are just a few of my favorite tips that will help you take your Doodly videos to the next level. I hope they help. Thanks for watching. Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to go over how to create thank you emails using Doodly whiteboard animation software.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
So let's get started. We're going to click Create New Video, and we're just going to choose a whiteboard, and we're going to name it Thank You Email. Choose a resolution of 1080 and click Create. So when are you going to send a thank you email? Many occasions to send thank you emails, one of which would be after your customer has converted. So for example, let's say they've downloaded your app. You'd want to send a thank you message to them right away. In this case, you could include a short walkthrough video to help them get started using the app that they just downloaded. Doodly's great for this because you can use Doodly's hand to represent the various taps and swipes that they're going to need to take when using your app. You could also use a whiteboard video to show how they can contact you if they need any help or have any questions. Or you could walk them through a quick demonstration of the core features that they'll want to use right away. Now, I've already created a short thank you message, so I'm going to do the audio first. And then from there, we will build our video. So to do the audio, you go down here to the microphone section and you click this little plus sign. And then you have this red microphone, and once you click it, it's going to start recording. Thank you for downloading our app. We believe it can help make your grocery shopping process a little easier. Here's a short video to help you get started. So now we just have to create the video that coincides with the audio. So the first thing we have is thank you for downloading our app. So let's go over to the props and let's find a phone. And here's one with a hand holding the phone, and I think that will be just fine. And then we want the message that says thank you. So we're going to go over here to our text section and just type in thank you. And click word wrap. Now, if you have an actual app, you probably want to take a screenshot and then upload it and put it inside the phone. But in this example, we'll just kind of recreate it using graphics. Actually, I know there's a character holding groceries, so. Now over here in the panel on the right, let's arrange these. So I want the text to come on first, so I put it on top. And then the hand draws on, and I don't think we need it to be 3 seconds long. And then the image of the woman inside the app, she can be pretty fast too. If you had a logo, you'd probably put the logo inside there as well. And I think that's fine. So we're gonna need a new scene. So click that button. And let's go back to props, and let's add another phone. And this is going to represent our app, okay? Make it larger, so go to text, and then now this scene is going to carry over quite a bit. So what I want to do is duplicate it. And I also want to make sure there's no swipe at the end. So I'm going to turn exit animation to none. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to right click. I'm going to choose duplicate. And now I have an identical scene, and it's going to be seamless between the two. And I'm going to erase this and then add new text. So I'm going to click on this, click the gear icon, and I'm going to set the exit animation to erase. And make it just real quick, a 1 second erase, maybe even less. And I'm going to do the same for this one. Erase, half a second. And I'm going to set all of these durations over on this side to 0. Because we don't need the hand to redraw them because they've already been drawn on. So now I have a very short scene that all it does is erase these two items. Now I'm going to duplicate it one more time. Right click, duplicate, and I'm going to just delete these because they've been erased. So let me just show you real quick what I'm talking about. So click Show Preview, and this little mini window allows me to start a short video to help you get started. First, once the app downloads on your phone, create an account by entering your name and putting in a password. No. Okay, so you see how it erased that. Now I do need to adjust the timing on the prior scene, but right now I'm not too worried about that. I just wanted to show you this erase. So here's the end of the first scene. Here's my second scene where it's just erasing it. And then now we're into our third scene. So now we have a screen that's blank that we can add new text to. So we're going to ask what type of store you usually go to. So let's do that. Just add a couple names. So Safeway, and that should be just fine. And then we're going to say frequency. And then maybe we want to add something here. And then our final thing is going to be, finally, we'll remember to remind you when next week rolls around. So let's go back to props and maybe let's see if there's something that says reminder. I like this little note. So I think if we have this pop on, let's have that animate on. That'll be kind of fun. So what we're going to do is make this as small as it goes, and I want to turn the drawing off on this, so I'm going to turn it to 0. So let's go ahead and copy this. So go Control or Command C depending on your operating system, and then Control or Command V to paste. And our second one comes on, and it's just going to be larger. And then Control Copy or Command Copy, and then Control or Command V to paste. And so we're going to make that even larger. And let's look at the durations. Okay, the delays. So right now they're all coming on at the exact same time because there's a 0 delay between them. So on the second one, let's add, let's make it as short as we can. So let's start with 2. And then the same with this one, 0.2. And now let's copy it and make it bigger. So they're just going to pop on one after another, and it's going to create the illusion of an animation. And I think another one. So we're enlarging the one that gets pasted on top, just in case that's not clear. And we'll do one more. And there. And then now we'll have the text come on that reminds them shopping day is coming up. We center the text. And if we go back to preview, I can show you how that all plays out. Okay, weekly, add your favorite stores, and there it is. Okay, see how that, see that little animation? Let's hit play. Per week, twice a week, every day. So that's just a fun little way to add some animations to your videos. So we have the audio laid down and the video, but the timing needs to be adjusted. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the first video, do a quick preview of that scene, and adjust it until it's perfect. So let's right click, click preview. Thank you for downloading our app. We believe it can help make your grocery shopping process a little easier. And then it's going to say, here's a short video to get you started. So this needs to be a little bit longer. So we need to add 2 seconds to the end of this scene. A short video to help you get started. First, once the app downloads on your phone, create an account by entering your name and putting in a password. No numbers or special characters needed. Okay, so we're close on that, just not quite. So let's add a delay before name comes on. So again, click the scene. So now you're working with it here on the right. And I want a delay before name comes in, and just 1 second I think will be sufficient. And that might be enough so that this one, no numbers, comes in on time, but I don't think so. So I'm going to add 1 second here and we'll see. Started. First, once the app downloads on your phone, create an account by entering your name and putting in a password. No numbers or special characters needed. Then we'll ask you what type of store you usually go to, such as Safeway or Vons, and how often you go, once per week, twice a week, every day. Third, we'll ask if this will be your first time at the store or if it's a favorite. Okay, so we were pretty close on everything else until we got up to this add your favorite store. So again, click in the scene. We want to go up to add favorite store, and we want to add a delay, and I think probably 3 seconds will do the trick. Might need a little bit more, but we'll see. So now let's back up a little bit. Third, we'll ask if this will be your first time at the store or if it's a favorite. Okay, so I need a slightly longer. Let's try 5 seconds. Third, we'll ask if this will be your first time at the store or if it's a favorite. Finally, we'll remember to remind you when the next week rolls around to create your shopping list. Okay, so timing is just fine for everything. All we need to do is add a little bit of music to the background and we will be done. So you go over to the Sounds tab, click Categories, Music, and then you're going to listen until you find something that fits the bill. I'm going to pause the video and do that, and I'll be right back. I've chosen Happy Days, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to first scroll over to the very beginning of my video because I want the music to come in at the beginning. So wherever my playhead is where it's going to come in. So now I just drag it into the music timeline. And there it is, it's right there. But it's probably going to be a little bit too long, and it is. So all I want to do is take my mouse and hover it over the end until a double-sided arrow appears. And then I'm going to just drag the mouse over. And I'll need to do this several times to shorten this audio track. And now it's the right length, but it's going to just chop off right here. So if I right click, I can choose fade out, and that's going to fade the music out. Right now it's about a 1 second fade out. I want it to be a longer, slower fade. So I'm going to drag this little triangle out so it's a long, slow fade. Now, in my experience, I've found that the music drowns out my voiceover by quite a bit. So I always go over here to the speaker icon and I bring the audio level of the music way, way, way down. 14% might be about right. And then we can preview it and we should be done. Thank you for downloading our app. We believe it can help make your grocery shopping process a little easier. Here's a short video to help you get started. First, once the app downloads on your phone, create an account by entering your name and putting in a password. No numbers or special characters needed. Then we'll ask you what type of store you usually go to, such as Safeway or Vons, and how often you go, once per week, twice a week, every day. Third, we'll ask if this will be your first time at the store or if it's a favorite. Finally, we'll remember to remind you when the next week rolls around to create your shopping list. And there you have it, a quick and easy way to make a thank you email using Doodly. Thanks for watching. Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to go over how to add Doodly videos to an email message.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
Earlier, we talked about how to create a thank you video for email using Doodly Whiteboard animation software. But how do you actually get the video into the email? As you may or may not know, sharing videos via email is tricky because the files become quite large and they might be blocked by your email providers, either yours on your end or your recipients on their end. Even if they go through, it can take a long time to do so due to their file sizes. So we need a workaround. The first thing you will need to do is to upload your video to the desired hosting service, whether it's YouTube, your website, Wistia, Boomly, or any other location. Do that and then copy the link. Next, depending on what services you use, you will need to paste that link into your email message. You'll see if I paste a YouTube link into my standard email client, all I get is the link itself, which is boring and it might not entice anyone to click on it and watch it. They might not even realize it's a video. However, if I use a service like MailChimp, it will likely fetch the thumbnail from YouTube, as you'll see here. Wouldn't you say that's a little bit more enticing than a plain link? Now, what if your email service doesn't automatically grab the thumbnail for you, like MailChimp just did with the YouTube link? Most will allow you to add a link to an image itself. Thus, you can grab your own screenshot of your video, add a play button overlay on top, and then use that instead. Once inside your email software, you can upload that image and then add the hyperlink to it. As you can see, there are a few steps you'll need to take in order to email a Doodly video to your clients. It's not overly difficult, and most email software will accommodate adding an image and a link, and some will even automatically fetch a thumbnail for you. And that's the basics. Thanks for watching. Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to create a gender reveal in Doodly.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
Today, we're going to explore how you could use Doodly as part of a gender reveal. Maybe you plan on showing a video at an actual party, or if you have friends and relatives who can't attend the party in person, you could share a gender reveal Doodly video on social media. Now, the video should be short and sweet. We'll want to build a little bit of anticipation, but at the same time, we want to get to the point quickly. Let's figure on about 20 to 30 seconds at the most. Now, the traditional colors are pink for girls and blue for boys, so if you want to be traditional, those are your obvious choices. However, gender neutrality is becoming more and more popular, so if you are planning on raising your child without any gender-specific expectations, you could use your gender reveal video to educate your loved ones on this decision, and then not reveal the actual gender. We won't go into this particular aspect today, but rather we're going to focus on the traditional blue and pink. So let's look at how this might work in Doodly. You could start by choosing a pregnant character in Enterprise. You type in pregnant, you'll see that there are quite a few women that have obviously pregnant bellies. Now this does require the Enterprise version. So if you don't have that, you might look elsewhere for some images. Likewise, you could upload your own photos. So if you already have a photo of yourself and your partner, you could upload that, and that would be lovely. Likewise, you could use your sonogram image that you got when you got the sonogram and found out the gender. So that would be a fun way to go as well. In addition, you need a way to show the gender, right? So I selected both a pink background and a blue background that I might use to do it. And then what if you're going to have twins? Well, you could upload a photo that indicates that. So this one I thought was kind of cute. That had both the boy and the girl, and it shows obviously they're twins. So that is another way to go. So let's go ahead and create a gender reveal video real quick. You go ahead and delete some of these scenes. And what I would like to do is use the photo approach. So we're going to pretend that this is Mark and this is Amanda, and that they're going to be having a baby girl. So I've already uploaded a narration. So I'm going to put that here, and you'll see it's about 24 seconds long. This is going to be my opening scene here. Add some text. Let's change this text. And then I said it was going to be a girl. So get rid of the boy background and we'll go with this pink. We want to fill the screen. And then the text needs to be in front. Let's just delete that. This particular font always seems to cut off the question mark and exclamation mark, so I just added a space afterwards. Okay, so I have the basic slides in place, but obviously the timing needs to be adjusted, right? Because my voice goes all the way over to here. So let's start with scene 1, and let's figure out what we want to do. I would like this photo to fade on, so I'm going to click the pencil icon. In reveal mode, instead of having it come on like this where it kind of scribbles on diagonally, like that, I want it to fade. So now it just fades in real nice. And the text, I think that's probably going to be about right for the duration of it, but let's give it a slight delay before it comes on. I have my character saying, "Hi, it's Mark and Amanda," before they say we're excited to share this. So I want to give them a little time to say that. And then let's keep the scene on for a couple seconds after they say that. So let's say 4 seconds. And we'll see how that feels from there. And let's go over to this one. Are you ready to find out? Okay, so I'm going to have a delay before the text comes on. So I'm going to say 5 seconds. We'll see. We may have to fine tune that. And this one, I don't know. Let's have it just already be on the screen when we have the transition. And yeah, we're getting the timing pretty close here. And let's give it maybe 2 seconds of a delay. And that's starting to be about right timing wise. I think I'm going to add a camera move here so we zoom in on the baby or zoom out. We'll see which is better. But before we do that, let's just see how it sounds and looks together. So I'm going to click preview.
Hi, Mark and Amanda here. We're going to be having a baby and we're so excited to share the gender of our little one.
We initially planned to have a gender reveal party with all of our friends and family,
But circumstances have changed and we don't have the opportunity to do a large party this time around.
Meanwhile, we thought it would be fun to celebrate with you here on Facebook.
So here goes. Are you ready? It's a girl.
Okay, so my "Are you ready to find out" came in way too soon. So let's give that a 10-second. And then let's close up the delay here. Let's just make that, let's do 1. And that's still going to be a little too, so let's change this to 8 seconds. Now let's make it 9. I'm changing back and forth based on where this scene comes on, because we want this part where it says "it's a girl," which would be this part, to come on when that comes on. So let's go to this preview now. This little one.
Hi, Mark.
And it's nice because you can jump around on it.
It's a girl. So here goes. Are you ready? It's a girl.
Okay, I think timing's going to be okay, but this scene, this having 3 seconds for that to scroll on is not going to work for me. I'm going to go straight to 0, so it's just going to make the transition, and it's going to be pink. And I don't know if I'm going to have the hand draw this on or not. I think I might just have it automatically on. We'll see. So once again, let's take a little preview. Go back right here.
Thought it would be fun to celebrate with you here on Facebook.
So here goes. Are you ready? It's a girl.
Yeah, and that's going to be cute. So let's go back to this one and let's add some time at the end so that it can be on screen for a few seconds so people can enjoy it. I think a little background music would be nice. So let's go over here and find some music. And that will be just fine. And I'm going to do this the opposite way. I'm going to have it come in, but fade in midway through, so we have that nice long fade at the end there. Okay, see how that fades out there? So if we go to the beginning and right click and choose fade in, you can fade the music in, do a nice slow fade, and that's going to be nice. Oh, it's also going to be loud, so I'm going to go ahead and click the little speaker icon. I'm going to turn it down quite a bit. Let's try 13%. I mentioned I wanted to do a camera move on this scene here. So I'm going to do that. You go over here to the pan and zoom tool and you click plus and you get this little effects box. Now you just drag it over, slide it over to where you want that effect to take place, and then you double click. So I think I want to start zoomed in on the baby. So unlock start, you have to adjust the camera. I think we want to be nice and close. And then I want it to end full screen, so I'm going to leave this where it's full screen. And I'm going to click apply. And then we need to figure out where we want that effect to come in. So I'm going to go to the beginning of the scene and hit play.
But circumstances have changed and we don't.
Okay, so obviously, since we're starting with it close up, we want it to start the beginning of the scene close up. So if we go over here.
Friends and family.
But circumstances have changed and we don't have the.
And that's going to be fine. Now I want to slower zoom out. One last thing I'd like to do is change the hand style. So if you'll notice, our couple, neither of them are wearing a sweater. So let's go ahead and find a hand without a sweater. So it might look like it's one of them. I'll take this one. Click apply. And now let's take a look.
Hi, Mark and Amanda here. We're going to be having a baby and we're so excited to share the gender of our little one.
We initially planned to have a gender reveal party with all of our friends and family.
But circumstances have changed and we don't have the opportunity to do a large party this time around.
Meanwhile, we thought it would be fun to celebrate with you here on Facebook.
So here goes. Are you ready?
Ready?
It's a girl.
And that's the basics of creating a gender reveal video in Doodly. Thanks for watching! Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to go over how to create a book trailer video in Doodly.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
Book trailers are a way to market books to people who might not have heard of them before. They are a video advertisement telling potential readers about the contents and themes of the book in order to entice them into buying it for themselves or as a gift. We'll go over how to create your own book trailer video from start to finish in Doodly. It'll cover scripting, storyboarding, and animating your video so that you can share it with the world. Let's get started. First, you'll need to decide on a theme for your book trailer. Will it be a short story, a poem, an expose? Will you use characters, book covers, create a little story for it? What's your approach going to be? From there, you start creating your script. Write out everything you want in the video, descriptions of characters and scenery, dialogue, and so on. Your approach for a novel will likely be a lot different than for a nonfiction book, like a cookbook. Next, create your storyboard, which is like a comic-style version of your script. This will help you visualize the video, as well as make sure everything that you want in it is included. And you'll do this long before you start dragging and dropping characters and props into your Doodly video. Now, you don't have to be an artist to create a storyboard, nor do you have to make it super complicated. I just like to use it to get the ideas down. In our example, we're going to make it a nonfiction book. It's going to be 101 animated video techniques. And I'm going to use a mock-up of the book cover. I will have some narration as well. And it's just basically going to be, hey, this book is great. This is what you're going to learn, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to use music or sound effects, this is an ideal time to write down what you're going to use in your storyboard. It can also help set the tone for your trailer and give you an idea of how to do the animation. Once that's finished, it's time to get started building each scene in Doodly. So here's an example of the script that I created for my book trailer and the storyboard. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it very simple. Before we get started, I'm going to keep this opening scene. It's on the cover of our book and it just makes sense to keep it. Now I wanted to show you the shadow effect. It's really simple. It's two copies of the same text, one in a dark gray and the other in the bright red. And I just put the top layer just slightly offset so that I have a shadow. First, I'm going to add the narration track. I have pre-recorded it, so I'm going over here to the Sounds tab. I'm going to click the blue plus sign and I'm going to browse for my file. It's going to appear right up here, and then I'm going to drag it into my narration track. And it's about 50 seconds long. I have created a 3D book cover, so I'm going to go ahead and upload it. I'm on my Props tab and plus sign and a browse for my file. Now, book covers you can have made on Fiverr or any of those freelance marketplaces, and there are also software book cover creators that you can use to do it for you. And since I'm going to have a bullet list, I'm going to go with the simple one. And let's put it off to the side, like so. You can make it a little larger. And then over here, I'll have the bullet list, okay? So pick a font. And I'm just going to type in the different bullet points. Inverted pyramid structure. Okay, I now have my bullet points and I just need to arrange them on the screen so they look nice, and then we'll deal with the timing. I like to go ahead and type them all out at once before I deal with the sizing, because that way I can size them all at the same time by control clicking, and I can move them. It just makes it nice and easy to get a good size that's consistent across them all. And I'm going to change this one to red. Now we're going to do our last scene where we have the book cover and some happy characters and a call to action. So I'm going back to props, and let's use this set of book covers because it implies that you can also get it for your mobile devices. Don't even need to say that it's available for mobile devices because the image says it all. Let's go back to our characters. We had Philip and Mary, and we want them to look happy. Here's one. And let's go find Mary. And I like her. She looks like a little bookworm. And then our call to action. Who knows if that domain is taken, but just know this is a dummy domain that I'm just making up, so hopefully it's not somebody's domain. I have my scenes made. Now we just have to get the order of everything that they're drawn on and the timing. So let's go take a look. I want these to be already drawn on. I certainly don't need these characters to be drawn on too long. And the cat, for sure, he can be like 1 second. The book can be like 1 second. This, I'm gonna want to just come on super fast. And that's fine. I'm gonna add a little bit of time at the end. So scene settings, and let's make it 1.5 seconds. So it'll say, this book will teach you everything. And then we're gonna swipe over to this scene. And I would like my book to come on 3 seconds. Let's try 2 seconds. And by default, it will scribble on like so. I'm going to change that. Let's just take a look at it real quick. Preview. So see how it scribbles on? I prefer the fade effect. So click the pencil icon, go over here to reveal mode and choose fade. Save and return. And if we preview it now, it just fades on. Okay, so I like the timing. Inverted comes on just right, but it writes too fast, so I'm going to slow that down. And it's okay if it finishes writing and she's still talking, that's fine. We'll probably need to put a little delay before this one comes on, so let's go for 2 seconds. And then I need to add a little bit of a delay before the next one comes on, so let's say 4 seconds. And this is just a matter of playing with it, listening to it, adding time, taking away time, and so on. This needs to come over. I already know plus is gonna just need to come on about 1 second. Maybe let's do 0.8. I think 0.8 is about as slow as it goes. And then let's just add 0.5 second there. And then we're gonna go to our final scene. And finally, let's add a music track. And we can just drag and drop our music into it. Now, if you've been following these videos for any length of time, you probably know that I like to turn the music down dramatically. So just what I'm going to do is click on the speaker icon and turn it down to like 9%. And it's just because these music tracks seem to come in really hot. I'm not sure why, but they do. And they drown out the voice. Or maybe my voice isn't loud enough. I don't know, but that's what I do, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So let's go ahead and preview the video and then we'll be done. Most people are unaware of advanced whiteboard video techniques and how they can be applied in their own videos. This book will teach you everything, including why text slides designed with an inverted pyramid structure are still relevant, 25 different techniques you can use to make your animations more interesting, 22 plus animated video tips and tricks, and more. It also includes a section on how to make videos that convert. Buy this book and prepare to learn 101 animated video techniques. Plus, you'll get step-by-step instructions on how to apply them in your own videos. And that's the basics of how to create a book trailer video in Doodly. Thanks for watching! Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to use Doodly to share a poem on social media.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
Summer's almost over, but I'm going to take a trip down memory lane before it's gone for good with a poem. I was working with a client a few weeks ago and she used a much more profound poem than this one, and her final video was amazing, so I wanted to share this idea with you. Whether you're a poet, a life coach, a yoga teacher, whoever, you can use Doodly to create beautiful social media posts based on your poems, and they're sure to be enjoyed by your followers. In my example today, we're going to go with something short and sweet with some summertime memories. Now, you'll see my poem here, and I just imported it on a photograph so you can kind of see what I have in mind for it. I want it to be in this vertical format, and then I just want a beach background, and I'm going to do a voiceover and have the text come on with my voice. So it's going to be quite simple. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is set up our video so that it's in this vertical format. So let's go back to my videos, and we're going to start from scratch. Let's give it a name, and right here where it says resolution, click this. We're going to go down to custom, and we want it to be 1080 wide by 1920 tall. So basically we're flipping the standard 1920 by 1080 onto its side. Now you notice how my numbers changed, so you need to uncheck that box. So sorry about that, 1080 by 1920. And we want to make sure this box is not checked. And you'll see the vertical format. Click create. And now it's ready for our background. Okay, so now we have our vertical canvas and we're ready to import our beach background. So go over to the props tab and import your image by clicking the plus sign and then browsing for your file. And before I do anything, I'm going to click this little gear icon and I'm going to turn the opacity down to 40%. And that's just going to fade it out quite a bit so it's kind of bleached out. And then I'm just going to go ahead and, oh, one more thing I want to do, click the pencil icon. I'm going to change it from draw to fade. And that way it's just going to fade on real nice. Now I'm just going to position it, enlarge it, That looks good. And I think I'm going to go for a pretty quick fade, maybe 1.5 seconds. And then let's add our text. For this first one, I want it large, almost like it's a title. And then we'll go with a smaller and different font for each of the other lines. I'll arrange these and enlarge them a bit after I have them all typed in. It's just easier to do after the fact. Normally I don't do a lot of just text heavy doodly videos, but I think it will work nicely in this example. Okay, so I have all of the lines of text. Control clicking to select them all. Now I can enlarge them together. I'm paying the most attention to this line here, the sound of waves crashing against the shoreline, because I want that to fit on one line. So that's about as big as I can get it. I'm going to look for a different font that's maybe a little bit more condensed. Yeah, let's go with Christie. And I'm just going to replace each one of these. That way I can make it a little bit larger. Once again, control click. Now let's pay attention to how large we can get. See, I can get much larger with this font than with the other. And I accidentally resized this one. And if you wanted, you could add your name at the bottom, so I could do that real quick. Or the date. And that's looking pretty nice. Fine, now let's add some narration. The timing is going to be a little bit off on the words as I do the narration, and I will fix that after I record my voice. Go down here where there's the microphone, click this little plus sign, click the red button when you're ready to start recording. Summer is almost over. I miss the days at the beach, watching seagulls in flight, looking for treasures on the sand, the sound of waves crashing against the shoreline, the smell of salt water and sunscreen. I miss the feeling of sand between my toes. I miss the companionship of friends and family and summer sun. Summer is almost over, but I won't forget those memories anytime soon. And then click stop. And then erase this part where I just said and then click stop. Okay, so I just slide right over that and it's gone. And I wasn't watching the screen when I was recording that, so I don't know. Obviously the timing is off because my voiceover is longer than the words. So all we have to do is go in and adjust the duration of each line to match the audio. So I like to go into this little preview window, get a little bit more control over what's going on with the audio here. Summer is almost over. I miss the days at the beach. Okay, so now you move this over and slide it down. Summer is almost over. I miss the days at the beach, watching seagulls in flight, looking for treasures on the sand, the sound of waves. So she's going to say the sound of waves right here, I believe. The sound of, yes. So we don't want this coming on just yet. We want to delay it. So that is the sound of waves crashing. So you come over here and you look for the sound of waves crashing. And we're just going to add a little bit of a delay. Okay, so this comes on, but I won't forget the memories anytime soon. Comes on fine, but it writes a little too fast. So let's make that a little bit slower. And then let's give, before my name comes on, let's give them some time to realize that the poem's over. So let's see. Summer is almost over, but I won't forget those memories anytime soon. Okay, so that's looking really good. So let's just do a few final things. Scene settings, let's add some time at the very end of the scene, let's say 7 seconds. And then let's go ahead and hide preview. And finally, let's just add some background music, or even birds chirping or something. I'm gonna pause the video and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've selected the song GIFs, and I'm just gonna drag it into place. And I'm going to turn the audio way down. Let's try 15%. And trim it a little bit. Beginning, slide it down. And then trim all this here at the end. So that it fits. And then we want to right click at the end and choose fade out. And I like a nice slow fade, so I'm going to make it really slow. And before we finish up, let's change the hand, because the voice is a female voice and we want to have the hand style match the narration style. So let's take this one. I think that one should be fine. And here we go. Summer is almost over. I miss the days at the beach, watching seagulls in flight, looking for treasures on the sand, the sound of waves crashing against the shoreline, the smell of salt water and sunscreen. I miss the feeling of sand between my toes. I miss the companionship of friends and family and summer sun. Summer is almost over, but I won't forget those memories anytime soon. And that's the basics of using Doodly to share your poetry. Thanks for watching. Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to go over how to categorize and organize your props in audio in Doodly.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
One of our viewers recently asked for tips on how to deal with uploaded graphics in audio tracks, so I thought I'd spend some time with you today going over asset management. You'll notice here in the Sounds tab that at the top, I have all of my custom audios that I've ever uploaded. They're all listed here at the top. So when I want to get to the music, I have to scroll through dozens, hundreds maybe even, of audios before I finally get to the default music that comes built into Doodly. So the viewer was very frustrated with that. However, what he didn't realize was this category tab here exists. If you click on it, right now by default it's showing all, so you do have to scroll through all the new stuff before you get to the Doodly stuff. Well, if you go down, you can select music and you'll only see music, and you could also choose sound effects and you'll only see the sound effects, or you could choose my library and only see the things that you've uploaded. So some people don't see this, so I just thought I would mention it so that you can overcome that problem if it's a problem for you. So if you don't know about the categories, now you do. Now, same with props, categories right here. So Right now, by default, it's all. So these are all my uploaded things that I've ever uploaded, and there's a ton of them. I've uploaded millions and millions and millions. And then you could also select different categories. So if you know you're looking for, let's say, furniture, you just click furniture, and then here you go. Now you can find your chairs, couches, and so on. In addition to what Doodly has for categorizing things, you could also create your own little system for staying organized. So what I recommend is, if you're working with clients, maybe you name each item in a manner such as this: client name, a description of the item, and then any notes to yourself if you have them. So let's upload one real quick and rename it. So I have this image here, and it's by default says Surfer Hugging Surfboard Mockup. Now I can rename it. So let's say my client is Acme. So I'm going to name it Acme, and then Surfer Hugging Surfboard Mockup is probably fine, but it's also pretty long. So Surfer Hugging Surfboard should be fine. And now it's listed as Acme Surfer Hugging Surfboard. As I add more assets in the future, this will eventually get buried down below. So it's not always going to be listed here as the first thing. So let's say, 3 months from now, I want to find all of my Acme stuff. I could go Acme, and here are all of the assets that I've ever done for Acme. Likewise, if I'm ever looking for surfer, just type in surf, and this comes right up. Now, because I have labeled it Acme, I might go, oh yeah, I might not want to use that because maybe this is a personal photo that Acme sent and I only have the rights to use it in their videos, right? I don't want to necessarily have it just named Surfer, because then I might think I could use it anytime. So naming it with your client's name is a great idea to give you a heads up. Okay, this was a client asset. You could also, if you right click, choose rename, you could also add something like one-time use. Now that it's renamed and it says one-time use, then I'm like, oh, I can't ever use that again. Of course, you can also right-click it and then delete it once you're done, and that is an option that you can do. It will help keep your library a little bit cleaner. In addition to doing it by client name, you could also do it by project name. For example, you might want to include the project name as a prefix followed by the description. If I were working on a video for back to school, I might use B2S, so back to school, for a picture of a notebook or something. So I might name it B2S Notebook, or if it was a textbook, it might be B2S Textbook. So a year from now, I'm going to do another back to school night video. And I'm like, oh yeah, I had some great graphics for back to school night. All I'd have to do is type in the search bar B2S. Then all of my notebooks, textbooks, pencils, crayons, and whatnot would all appear. And then I could just work with those again really easily. You could do something similar for audio. You could use VO for voiceover, followed by the project name, or vice versa, depending on how you want it to fall alphabetically. Now, if you've ordered royalty-free music elsewhere and you will have the rights to use it in the future, you could even put something in the title indicating what rights you have, such as track name, commercial license purchased, or track name, personal use only, so that you don't get in a bind by accidentally misusing the music just because you have it listed in your library. I hope this helps you better organize your props and audio files in Doodly. Thanks for watching! Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to discuss a storytelling framework.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
When you think about a good story, you know that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's usually some sort of problem, things get worse, and then finally it ends up with a happy ending. It's pretty simple, right? This same framework can be applied to your Doodly videos so that they're more effective at getting the point across. Except we're going to get a little bit more specific and use the problem, agitate, solution framework to tell our story. First, we'll identify the problem, and then we're going to agitate the problem by showing how it's affecting people and making things worse. Finally, we'll offer a solution to the problem, and we'll finish with an actionable takeaway. So let's go ahead and make a quick Doodly based on that. Here's the script I came up with, and you'll see right off the bat we have our problem. And then we jump right in and we start agitating. We just go over all these horrible things that are a result of that problem. And then finally, we present our solution. In the interest of time, I've already started this video and I'll go over what I've already done and then we'll finish it up together. So this task list, if you look at it, it's got a 0 duration and a 0 delay on all of the elements. So that means they just appear first thing. The hand does not draw them. This clock is actually a GIF that you can find GIFs online, and you can import them just like you do any other photograph or image. And when you play the video, they'll do a little animation. So it's really cool. And then I just built the rest of the scene. I am doing the voiceover one scene at a time. So I've already done the first 2. I also added a camera movement. So let's go over here. And I had started it, but this is a good time to just kind of pick up with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and just adjust it. Now, I kind of like these little sunbeams because, wow, what if this wonderful planner could solve all her problems, right? That's what we're saying here in this scene. So I'm over here in the scene text. And it's going to overwrite this because I didn't think of that in time. So I want to go ahead and copy these items so that I can paste them back in. So I selected them both, Control click, and now I'm going to do Control or Command plus the letter C to copy. So now they're copied to my clipboard. Now I can drag in this scene. And yes, it's okay to go ahead and overwrite it. It's fine. Now, Control or Command V to paste will paste my items back in. Of course, this looks terrible right now. So first off, let's move this text and get that trash can to delete it. I don't need the text. I only want the sunbeams. Now the sunbeams need to be a little bit larger, and I like that. So I think that's going to look really cool. So let's go ahead and record it. So to do that, you go into the narration track down here, and you'll see these are the ones I already did. And then I have a plus sign at the very end, and that's what I'm going to do to record my voiceover. So let's go ahead and do it. Click plus, and then the red sign when you're ready. What if there were a way that she could be more productive, feel less overwhelmed, and finally be able to get things done? So I messed up at the beginning, but I'm not worried about it. I just gave myself a pause and then started over. Now I want to get rid of this. This is my mess up right here. You can see it. This is where I stumbled. So all I have to do is go to the beginning, hover over the little line here till the double-sided arrow comes, and now I can just trim it away. So now it's gone, and I just move this over, right-click, preview. What if there were a way that she could be more productive, feel less overwhelmed, and finally be able to get things done? I do need to have a little pause at the end. So go to Scene Settings, and we want to add about 2 seconds to the end. I think we want a new scene with Amanda holding the book. So I'm going to click over here, new scene, and I'm just going to drag it over to the proper spot. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste the book once again. I'm going to paste that into our new scene. It's going to be smaller because we're going to add Amanda. So we can make it smaller, move it over. And let's go back and find Amanda. Rhonda, as our script is saying, but she's named Amanda in Doodly. So now remember, we're going to have a call to action. So maybe over here is where I'm going to have the text for the call to action. Would be some nice balance. And we'll do something like that. So let's go ahead and add our voiceover. This will be our last voiceover. The Acme Productivity Planner is the perfect solution for anyone who has trouble getting things done. So I'm going to go back to this one, scene settings, and I'm going to turn the scene animation off here. And now, instead of swiping, it's just going to go from this to this. So I have the Acme Productivity Planner. I don't want the hand to draw it on because it's already been revealed. So we're going to go back over here, turn that to 0, and this to 0. We can consider if we want those sunbeams, and I think I do kind of want them. So I'm going to go over to the sunbeams, and we're just going to copy and paste. So that looks really great. And what's going to happen is it's going to look like the camera moved from this close-up to this longer shot. So it goes from here to here. And we can decide if we want the hand to draw Amanda on or not. Now, before we do a preview, let's make sure to turn off the drawing of the sunbeams. So now that's 0. And let's take a preview, and we want to see the transition between the two. So I'm going to go ahead and use this preview, and I'm going to jump ahead and finally be able to get things done. Enter Rhonda's new productivity planner. Each day so let's go ahead and add a camera move. Scroll over and you go to the plus sign after your last camera move, and then you drag it over. So let's go ahead and click in. So we're full screen, that's what we're starting at. And then we're going to zoom in to just 3 goals per day. And then we're going to zoom back out. So we got to do our first move first. So we're going to zoom in nice and tight. And we've got to figure out where in this scene this camera move is going to happen. Okay. So I like to use this little mini preview. What happens is you place your playhead and you can see exactly what's happening where. So as soon as he goes to write the set your 3 goals per day, that's when I want the camera to start moving. So now I just move this over here to where my playhead starts. And now, as soon as he starts writing, the camera's going to zoom in. Just 3 goals, 1 big goal and 2 small tasks that will help her reach it. So once again, camera move. And then we're going to move it over. It's probably going to be right around here. Instead of zooming out to full screen, let's just move the camera up to this happy Amanda. And that's going to look nice. And then we'll do 1 more camera move. And this one is going to stay starting on her, and it's going to end full screen. Is you do that little double-headed arrow trick, and we're just going to extend it. So now it's just going to slowly move over to her. It's 3 goals, 1 big goal and 2 small tasks that will help her reach it. The Acme Productivity Planner is the perfect solution for anyone who has trouble getting things done. It's designed to help busy professionals like Rhonda get more done in less time, so you'll finally be able to achieve your dreams. Get yours now. The last step is to add some music. So go over to music and click the categories, music, and then you find a track that you like. I'm just going to pick one and we'll just do it really fast, okay? So I'm going to pick this one, Be Home. It might not be suitable, but it should be okay. And you place it. It looks like it kind of starts right away, and I think that'll be good for this particular one. And then it's going to be too long, so we're going to go to the end and trim it. Right click, choose fade out, extend the fade. We're almost done, but we need to go over here to the music, audio, and turn it down because I do have narration and these audio tracks come in really loud. So I turn it way down. 10% is going to be fine for me. And that should be done. Let's go ahead and take a final look. Rhonda loves her job, but her task list is a mile high. Constant distractions pull her attention away from the things that matter the most, and her performance is suffering. She starts a lot of projects, but never finishes them. She feels like she's not good enough, and she doesn't deserve success. Her boss isn't happy, and she's exhausted from trying to juggle everything with nothing to show for it. What if there were a way that she could be more productive, feel less overwhelmed, and finally be able to get things done? Enter Rhonda's new productivity planner. Each day she starts with just 3 goals, 1 big goal and 2 small tasks that will help her reach it. The Acme Productivity Planner is the perfect solution for anyone who has trouble getting things done. It's designed to help busy professionals like Rhonda get more done in less time, so you'll finally be able to achieve your dreams. Get yours now! And that's a basic storytelling framework that you can use to quickly create your own doodly videos. Thanks for watching! Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to create a micro video in Doodly.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
What is a micro video? Micro videos are short instructional videos that can be used to teach a single skill in an entertaining and concise way. Micro videos are commonly used for teaching a skill or a concept. In our example today, we're going to create a video on how to fry an egg. And here's a script that I plan on using. As you can see, it's very basic. It has a very fast introduction, tells you what you need, and then it jumps right into the steps. I do need to add a call to action, and it's going to just be something real simple like, enjoy your breakfast and join me tomorrow for more tips on how to cook. So now that we have the script, we need to start building our video. I'm going to go ahead and delete my scenes, but I'm going to leave my script here because I'm going to use this as a shortcut for doing my voiceover. I'm going to go down to my voiceover track. I'm going to click this little plus sign, and when I'm ready, I'm going to click the red button and begin speaking. Frying an egg is a really easy and quick way to cook up breakfast. So let's go ahead and start building our scene. Click the plus sign to add a new scene. And I want to maybe have some text. I would probably like a character. I'd like a chef. So I'm going to type in chef. And we'll decide who do we want and if we want it in rainbow or not. I think we'll do it in rainbow today. And let's use this little goofy character here. I like her. So this is Janet, and she's our chef. And let's give her a little credit here. So let's say, presented by Chef Janet. We'll go back to our script. So all we need is a pot with some olive oil in it, an egg, a spatula, and some seasonings. So let's look at props. I like the frying pan. And then we may have the camera zoom in on these as I'm saying. And all you need is an egg pan and a spatula. And then have the camera zoom in. And then we'll go to our next scene. So let's create a new scene. And what you can do is, I want this always at the end because it's just a reference. So if I right click and click insert, it's going to insert my scene to the left of it. And now I can do step 1. Let's find our pan. So now I need my egg. So we go to props, an egg, and this one that says omelet, which is not really an omelet, but I'm going to use it. And I'm going to add it to my scene. And I'm just going to place it in here. I think I might want to rotate it. It's looking pretty good. Maybe shrink it up just a touch. So now I'm going to duplicate this scene. And I'm going to make sure everything here is set for 0 seconds. So I'm going to control click, go to my gear icon. Under draw, I'm going to change it to 0 and apply. So now I have all of these set where they just come on at 0 seconds. I'm going to go back to my scene, and under scene settings, I'm going to turn off my exit animation. So now it's going to just transition between these two identical scenes seamlessly. And the reason I did that is because now I want to get rid of this egg. I'm going to replace it with this one. So that's going to be my flipped egg. And I'm going to add my spatula again. And I probably want it underneath. So it's going to go from crack an egg into the pan and cook for 3 minutes. And then step 3, flip it over. And I'm going to go to a brand new scene. Let's get Chef Janet back in here. See if we can find a plate. It oftentimes takes a little fiddling to get everything just how you like it. So just play around until you get the scene that you like. Now I do want to do some camera movements, but I want to make sure our timing is right before I do them. So let's start with how to fry an egg, presented by Chef Janet. So let's listen to this scene one more time. Frying an egg is a really easy and quick way to cook up breakfast. All you need is a pot with some olive oil in it, 1 egg. So we need all of this to come on much faster so that I can get this pot, or pan is what I should have said, to come on. So do we need 3 seconds to draw the chef? Probably not. We don't need 1.5 seconds on that, so we're going to turn that down. And that should be pretty good. And then we want basically the scene to stay on longer. So we go to scene settings and we're going to add a few seconds at the end here. Frying an egg is a really easy and quick way to cook up breakfast. All you need is a pot with some olive oil in it, 1 egg, a spatula for flipping the egg, and some seasonings if desired. And seasonings, I did find a little bottle of chili sauce. There it is. So maybe we add that. I mentioned I wanted to do some camera movements, so let's go back. Click on the scene that you want to affect. Go to your pan and zoom line and click the plus sign. Now here's our camera effect. And for now I'm going to put it in the middle of the scene. I'm going to double click into it. And I want to start full screen, and then I want to zoom in on, here's what you need. Let's go to show preview. Let's make sure our playhead's where we want it to be. And we want to scroll over to the part where we want it to zoom in. And actually, it's perfect where it was. So that's fine. Now, whenever you zoom in, then you have to zoom back out again to get back to full screen. So I'm going to double click after I add this, unlock start, and make it full frame again. And then the same thing on this, we want it full frame again, and apply. And I'm going to position this right here at the beginning of scene 2. And so now scene 2 will be full screen. I'd like to do something similar at the end. So let's do one more. You add your effect and then you're going to drag it over. So now I'm going to zoom in and I have that for my very ending screen. I'm just going to move that over. So now it's going to go da 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 da, and then join me tomorrow for more cooking tips. Now before we finish up, let's go ahead and add a music track. Go to Sounds, Categories, Music, and find a song that you like. I'll use this one. Just scroll over and then just plop it into place. Now, I do like to turn it down, and I like to trim the beginning, excuse me, here, and move it over so it starts right away. And then it's way too long for my video, so I'm going to go over here and just scroll, and then I'm going to right click and fade out. And that should be good. Let's take a look and then we'll be done. Frying an egg is a really easy and quick way to cook up breakfast. All you need is a pot with some olive oil in it, 1 egg, a spatula for flipping the egg, and some seasonings if desired. First, heat up your pan on medium-high heat. Next, crack 1 egg into the middle of the pan and let it fry for about 3 minutes, and then flip it over. Cook for an additional 30 seconds and remove from heat. Add salt and pepper to taste if desired before removing from the pan and enjoying. Join me tomorrow for some more tips. And that's the basics of creating a micro video in Doodly. Thanks for watching!